Force holds immense power to those who have the potential to use it, but there are some aspects of the Force that are corrupt and are accessed through the most malicious of emotions. The dark side of the Force thrives on these emotions, and whilst the Jedi Order views the powers as erratic, the Sith have prospered under them. To understand the Force, we must first learn about the dark side of the Force. The Force draws much of its power from emotions, but the dark side uses the strongest of emotions such as anger, hatred, fear, passion. The dark side ultimately consists of selfishness and a lust for power. For this reason, it lures many Force users to it. The first to unlock the power of the dark side of the Force was an ancient alien race known as the Rakata. This race managed to harness the dark side and used it to conquer the galaxy in around 30,000 BBY. But their empire crumbled when the race lost their contact with the Force. 5,000 years later, on the planet Typhon, during the very early stages of the Galactic Republic, scientists and priests gathered to discuss a strange energy present around the galaxy. They came to the conclusion that this energy was Ashla, another word for the light side of the Force. But, whilst discovering the power of Ashla, some began to wield the power of Borgen, aka the dark side. This led in a split of belief, some that saw Borgen as the dominant power, and some that saw Ashla as the dominant. The two groups clashed and started the Force Wars of Typhon, which lasted for around a decade. Ultimately, the light side won, and the followers went on to form what is now the Jedi Order. It wasn't until more than 500 years later, when the dark side would pose a threat to the Jedi. The followers of the dark side took up combat training as opposed to meditation like the Jedi, as their training focused on peace, whilst the dark side required anger. Some Jedi advocated to the dark side in pursuit of power, and were hereinafter known as Dark Jedi. After centuries, in 7,000 BBY, the Dark Jedi began a 100-year darkness. As the name suggests, this was a huge war that lasted 100 years, when the Dark Jedi went to war with both the Jedi Order and the Galactic Republic. The war was harsh, but again, the dark side was defeated, and the Dark Jedi were exiled into the far reaches of the galaxy. The Dark Jedi eventually landed on the world of Korriban. Upon their arrival, the Dark Jedi came across a humanoid species, with red skin, facial tentacles, and a potential to access the Force. The species' name was the Sith. The Sith were a simple society ruled by kings, and they were stunned when the Dark Jedi arrived on their planet. But after witnessing their immense power, the Sith allowed the Dark Jedi to stay. This led to the Sith rulers being betrayed and killed, resulting in the Dark Jedi taking control over the planet. 2 centuries later, due to interbreeding with the Sith species, they had lost all traits of kindness and good, and were bred to be power-hungry and strong in the Force. In 5000 BBY, the Sith Empire, led by Naga Sadow, led an attack against the Republic again in the Great Hyperspace War. In the Hyperspace War, the Empire attacked Coruscant and killed many, but when Sadow's meditation sphere was damaged, it destroyed the chain of command, and the Republic regrouped and destroyed the Sith fleet. The Republic then pursued the Sith all the way back to Korriban, where they were again defeated. Sadow retreated to Yavin 4 and used sorcery to put his body into stasis, and his followers degraded into barbarians with time. Till this point, the Sith Empire was made up almost exclusively of Sith warriors. But one Sith Lord, Viatate, who survived the Great Hyperspace War, called 8,000 remaining Sith Lords to meet him. He consumed them and inherited their powers. He then led the remnants of the Sith Empire on a 25-year-old voyage to Dromund Kaas, where he abandoned his old name and took on the new title of Sith Emperor. This was the beginning of the Galactic Empire, which would become the greatest threat that the Republic ever faced. But that's a story for another video.
Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, we gain strength. Through strength, we gain power. Through power, we gain victory. And through victory, Our chains are broken.
During the time of the Galactic Empire, anyone who was Force sensitive and lived in Empire-controlled territory would be forced into the Sith Academy on Korriban. The Sith are taught that power is the ultimate goal. They're also taught that only the strong prevail. The Sith, unlike the Jedi, teach that to not help others is a mercy. They believe that through helping others, it only weakens them. This also explains why the Sith Empire has been known to take slaves. Both the Jedi and the Sith work on a system with a master and an apprentice. But unlike the Jedi, when a Sith apprentice has learnt all they can from their master, it's not uncommon for the apprentice to kill the master in single combat. This is the Rule of One by Darth Krayt. It ensures that the strongest go on and emphasises on the idea that only the strong will survive. The dark side is a gateway to power, and uses the strongest of emotions, and with excessive use it takes effect on both the body and the mind. The more the dark side is used, the more addictive it gets. It explains why many Sith have a pale, aged image. The Sith crave power above all else, and that has proven to be both an advantage and a disadvantage. Their lust for control and dominance has allowed them to undertake things that others, such as the Jedi, never could, which has supported their campaign for dominance. As well as this, their use of the dark side has given them abilities with immense power, despite the side effects. Although it cannot be denied that the appetite for control has led to the eventual downfall of the Sith Empire, as the Rule of One commands one leader, the strongest and the most powerful. This has led to petty infighting between the Sith, which led to a separated empire, with different lords declaring themselves emperor, whilst their foes stood united. The Sith Empire was born from rogue Jedi who became power-hungry, and the controversial beliefs of the Sith has made them adverse from their age-old enemy, the Jedi Order.